Welcome to Muscular Development. I'm Debbie Leszewski, IFBB Pro Bodybuilder. I am here in Jupiter, Florida with one of my figure competitors that I'm preparing for the Southern States show in 3 weeks, and it's Tracy Pate. She just got done preparing for the West Palm Beach show. It was 2 weeks ago, and she placed first place in her height class. So she's going in for an overall for the Southern States, which I truly believe she can do as a top contender going into that show. Today what we're going to do here in our gym is we're going to train shoulders and hamstrings. I'm going to take you through what I do as a trainer on a daily basis with a lot of my athletes, her being one of them, exactly what we do in preparing for these shows. So follow us along today as we go through her workout, and I hope you enjoy it. What we're going to start out with is shoulder presses here, and we're going to do a nice wide grip. And what I like about this, it keeps the delts to come out nice and wide and have width. So when she's on stage, she has that nice width at the top. So we're going to do drop set. First start out, do 15. We're going to drop it and then grab the 30. Overhead. Yep, overhead. Keep it nice and wide. And then widen your stance. Make sure everything's nice and wide. And 15 up. Do 5 more, and then we're going to drop it. All right, Tracy, let's go. Keep it nice and wide. Pick up your pace, wider grip. Pick up the pace a little bit more and go. Keep your, stance wide, weight on your heels, and push. 5 more. And 4, push through. 3 more. Up, 1 more. All right, Tracy, good job. All right, on the floor, go 15 push-ups. One thing I like to do, go ahead. One thing I like to do with my figure girls is obviously she's 3 weeks out, so count to 15 on this. Keep your elbows out wide. She's in shape already. I just want to make sure the pieces, as far as what they're judging for in shape, the shoulders are nice and full and round. So in doing this, we're doing drop sets to keep her tight and to keep the fullness. And now we're just going to do a little bit of push-ups here so she can actually tie in her shoulders and her delts. And that'll create a great illusion for her in her upper chest into her shoulders. All right, that's it right there. And relax. Okay, we're going to give her a breather for about a minute. And then we're going to do the same thing again. Let's go again. We're going to go for 12 on this. We're going to lower our reps. Make sure your stance is wide. Yep. All right, drop that down. And you're going to give me 10 here. And push straight up. Let's go. 4, good, come on. Push up, 5. We'll go 3. 3. All right, that's fine. Up.
I can't.
All right, drop it down. Good job.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. Do your push-ups. Okay. As you can see with that, she got to failure really, really quick, which is what we want. So I dropped her reps and dropped her weight. What we're going to go into next is drop sets on lateral raises. So we're going to again work on our medial delt. So let's start you out with, we're going to do drop sets right here. So let's start your laterals. This is something I like to do. We're going to go 10 reps on each drop. This is something I do. I'm preparing for the Olympia right now. I'm about 13 weeks out, and this is something as I get closer, she's 3 weeks out from the Southern States, that you like to really deplete all the glycogen and get as much hardness and shape that she can out of her shoulders. So even though she's a figure competitor, this is an exercise as bodybuilders that we do that figure girls can do just as much. It's just they can train just as hard as bodybuilders, but maybe they change the weights that they use, and also their food changes. So again, basic training, whether you're a figure or bodybuilder, is important. It's just how you put it together. So there really is not a lot of difference. And now we're going to do our last one for 10. And now she's going to want to fire it up a little bit quicker on this last set. a little bit more speed. She's gonna do 3 more. Good, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into isometric holds. So she's gonna go 10 more, squeezing without the weight. Yep, without the weight. Straight up for 10, arms straight out, squeeze hard and down. And then we're gonna go 3 more, last one she's gonna hold. And we're gonna drop. We're gonna do rest a minute, we're gonna do this one more time. All right, go to your 10s, and go. And now speed up your pace, and 10, a little quicker. It gets a little lighter, make it work harder. 4, 'Don't rest at the bottom. 4, up, 3, up, 2, up, 1. Drop it, grab your 5s. So one thing you don't want to do with this is rest too much at the bottom and lose that resistance in your delts. So you got to go and up, and 2, yep, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're doing good. 9, last one for 10. Drop those. And let's do 10 more with holds and go. 10, nice and tight. Up, 1, down, 2, go. 3, go. 4, yep, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9. Tracy, I want you to hold 10, 5, squeeze, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. All right, and I want you to do a little bit of stretching, arm up. That's one thing I didn't talk about at the beginning is I work a lot with stretching, just to stretch the fascia. When you get to this point, 3 weeks out, stretching is important, but really it's important in your off season, and get into the show and making sure your flexibility is up high, and allowing that fascia to open up and force more blood into that muscle. That's why you want it to release. You can do that through massage therapy, which I do weekly on myself in my preparation and my off season. But for Tracy right now at 3 weeks out, she's pretty limber. She just got done with the show, so she'll stretch a little bit, but she should be, ready to go and get through these sets. So she can, on a timely fashion, get to her meal, which is pretty much the most important thing at this time. And then her workout take about an hour, whereas in the off season, her workouts take a little bit longer, as do mine. So, all right, I'm gonna have Tracy do front bar cable raises. I like to use the camber bar on this just because the angle. Put your thumbs on top here. She's gonna use a false grip. Okay, it's gonna tie in her medial into her front delts by using this sort of bar instead of a straight bar. So again, we're keeping it across her outer chest and then into her front delt, and that kind of ties into her medial delt. So we're gonna go 20 on this, Tracy, and you wanna come up, power a little quicker up, and only go shoulder height on this. 3 more. 3, up, last 3. You want to really pop. You never want to, yeah, perfect. As a person gets tired in their movements, I see this a lot with people who train. They get tired and they get their last 3 and they're just like barely struggling to get through it. You need to dig deep and power through those last 3. Those actually are the most important 3 than the 17 previous. So you just want to get that last bit of blood force into that muscle. So that's what she does. So that's why I try to push people through those sets. Thumbs on top, there we go. All right, let's go again. Use those knees, come from the base, and fire up. Let's go 18. We're gonna go 10 more. I like to vary my reps with each individual based on what I'm seeing and based on the weight that we're using. So we're just gonna drop these reps by 2 because she did increase her weight by 5. Let's go. 2 more. We're gonna do last one for a hold, and a nice tight hold, and down, good. All right, what Tracy's gonna do here is a superset. We're gonna start on the incline bench for rear delts. A lot of you do that. This is an exercise I love, I do weekly. I incorporate other things for rear delts, but I believe in this. If you wanna build your rear delts, you cannot skip this exercise. From here, this is something I kind of put together. I actually made this up myself. It might exist out there, I have no clue. But this is something I do in my preparation for shows as well. It's really nice because you use light weight on this, It's all in a kind of an isometric lift, but it ties in that rear head into your medial delt. So what's gonna happen, whether you're figure or you're bodybuilding, you're gonna create a fullness. And again, remember, some of you might say, well, I'm a bodybuilder, Debbie's a bodybuilder, why, as a figure girl doing this? But let me just reiterate that how she looks in her shoulders, she needs to have a complete round delt. And this exercise with your rear delt creates that depth and that roundness to the back. But keep in mind how she looks as far as hardness is all deemed by her water, her carbohydrates when it comes showtime. So she can still have the same kind of exercises as a bodybuilder, but what's going to deem the look, which is what we're looking at, is all those other components. Keep in mind too, I keep my protein levels a little bit lower in my figure competitors so that they aren't putting the muscle on necessarily that bodybuilders are. So you aren't going to have that issue as well. So this exercise, she's in a superset. Again, she's going to hold dumbbells, so they're resting on the back of my hand. She's going to put her legs around this bench and you're going to come up to shoulder height and get that nice stretch, which stretches your rotator, but also ties in that rear delt into that medial delt. So you're looking at it tying in this section here. Again, hold it on the back end of that dumbbell. Put your booty a little bit further back. So I need you back here, further. You have to have it so your booty's right on the edge of that bench. So you have space behind you as you're leaning in and bringing that weight up. She's also going to keep her abs nice and tight. It's going to work her core, her lower back, her abdominals. That's basically your core. Keep it straight out. And again, don't worry about your height. As long as your arms are out, your delts don't know if you're here or here, but you've got to keep constant resistance. So again, don't worry about the height, just bring them to failure. And again, don't worry about the height, Tracy, just keep it going, and up, and up. See, she's coming a little lower now, which is fine. She's keeping resistance, not using anything else, but that delt, relax. If you worry so much about your height, I swear to you, your traps, your rhomboids will start to get big. We don't want that, whether you're, you want to keep your femininity, because that gets out of whack, you lose your shape and your aesthetics. Whether you're a bodybuilder or a figure competitor, because you got to keep things in balance and proportion. So anytime you're overstressing your body and losing that tension in what you're working, you're really causing other body parts to take over, and now you lose control as to how they look in their growth. So you must at all times stay really strict to form. Pinkies up high. Good, no higher than that, perfect. And if you notice on Tracy, she's keeping, this is kind of a pet peeve of mine, her alignment, her elbows, everything's out, her elbows are higher than her wrist. She's keeping it forward. We're gonna do 12 reps here. She's keeping it forward instead of bringing it behind her. That's another exercise for something else. So you have to keep it out in front to hit that rear delt. Okay, drop them, head over here. Again, you're gonna find if you try this exercise, you don't need a lot of weight. You can even use a little bit of isometric and just squeeze, because it's just tiny little muscles back there. It doesn't need a lot of weight. It just needs blood to be put in it. So it's just real tiny. Arms a little straighter. Just going right into this section here, between those two heads. Squeeze. All right, keep them out. Perfect, right there. 2. Six, good. You can see it working right here. 7. Don't worry about the height again. 8, just keep them out. 9, yep. She's starting to come lower. 10, which is fine. 2 more. Yep, last one, you can see she's lower, and drop it. Perfect. If you take a look at Tracy, hit your front relax pose in the mirror, and you can see right away how her delts have billowed out. See the fullness in them? And that's what you want, this is perfect delts. You want nice full delts. Whether you're bodybuilder or figure, that's pretty. That looks good. Okay, we're gonna hit hamstrings now.